Yeah, can we meet you? What's your name?
I'm Bala Elisha.
Okay. I understand you are a retired.
Yes.
Can you give us a background about that?
Yes, I am a veteran of the Nigerian Army. I was enlisted into the Nigerian Army in 1998. I served for almost 27 years. I retired as a staff sergeant from Defense Research and Development Bureau, DRDB.
Okay. What prompted this early retirement, if I may ask?
Yes, I retired to enable me achieve my dream innovation. That is my invention in base renewable energy generator. By God's grace, I started it in the year 2020, and I presented it. I tried to solicit money to complete the R&D based on my earlier development of the invention that I loaned money from my commercial bank. Then I realized the money is not enough for the R&D. So I went on soliciting for money from various organizations. I went to the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, ECOWAS Commission, my state government, the present governor, Sule.
Okay, before we get into that, what is this invention? What are you talking about? Let's get it clear. This invention, what is the use? What is the dividends of having this invention out there?
Okay, before I start, let me define the innovation. It is called base renewable energy generator. Base renewable generator is an electric generating device that is powered by a stored potential or chemical energy which drive electromagnetic motor that drive an alternator to produce a reliable and efficient electric power supply. It operates without fuel, that is fossil free, is carbon free, and is eco-friendly. It's self-charged, so it can operate without weather restriction. Compared to the solar energy, when there is inadequate sunlight, the solar energy cannot generate DC current to maintain its power bank. So there will be inadequate power supply through the potential energy from the inverter. Likewise, the wind energy, if there is inadequate wind, the wind turbine cannot generate DC current to maintain its power bank. Therefore, there will be inadequate power supply. But with base renewable energy generator, it can operate in any weather because it's self-charged. So with base renewable energy generator, I believe the off-grid community will have a lasting solution.
So you are saying you invented this?
Yes, I invented
generator.
it locally in Nigeria here.
All components, everything?
Yes, a very, very home innovation.
Okay. Now, talking about talking about back to your security background. How did it go? Why was this invention not picked up, and why didn't it escalate from there?
Really, after soliciting for funds from various organizations, I decided to present the innovation to my office, which is Defense Research and Development Bureau. The office are made to anchor R&D, research and development in the military.
Okay.
So when I presented it to them, they welcomed the idea when I presented my first prototype. But I later discovered there is inadequate funding.
Inadequate funding?
Yes, because I believe the federal government do release money for innovation. That's for research and development in the military. But when I discovered there is inadequate funding and I cannot achieve it in the military, I decided to retire to enable me achieve it. And by God's grace today, I'm able to present a befitting prototype of that base renewable energy generator, 3.5 kVA.
Okay. Now, talking about this your invention, how do you want the government to come in? Because I understand that the government has already spent billions of naira talking about the Rural Electrification Agency, under the Rural Electrification Agency, where satellite towns, villages, and communities have been able to get power supply via solar energy. And what you are saying is far more efficient than solar energy, because with your generator, you don't need solar. You don't need solar panels, which means you don't need sun, you don't need wind, you don't need fuel, you don't need turbines. It works on its own, powered on its own 24/7. So asking now, how do you want, because I believe that the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has pumped in a lot of funds into electricity. Remember that he told us that if he does not do well after the first tenure, he should go, because if he does not give us power supply after the first tenure, we are free to say he can go. Okay? Now, if you bring this kind of idea to him, that you have manufactured something like this, it means it's a welcome idea, and it means if he's being the president that he is, who wants development, who wants progress for his people, he will buy into it. What will be that your request, talking to the president right now?
Okay. Before I answer your question, let me speak from experience. I was able to operate in Warri area of Delta State, that's the Niger Delta region, and I was able to see the nature of their weather, most especially compared to the month of October. There is too much rain.
From
June to October. So with the weather now, I later realized that there is the renewable energy using solar and wind energy cannot work adequately. So with this technology now, all I need from the government is I need it to be mass produced one. That is the mass producing, commercialization of it, and if possible, because now the available prototype is 3.5 kVA, and the available component that I can produce in Nigeria now for the higher capacity is 10 kVA. But to redevelop it now, the government have to come in that we can produce it above
the capacity
for industrial
purposes,
commercial, and office use. So I need the government funding. If possible, I can allow the government to anchor the mass production, the redevelopment, and commercialization of the project. Okay. So it needs funds from the government.
Okay. So far, what would you say has been the challenges you have faced? I know you were trying to say something about getting loans and all that, so that maybe they don't refer you to those options again. What have been the challenges so far? Why has this project not gotten the right attention?
Really, before I answer your question, this present prototype I'm talking of 3.5 kVA, I developed it with my hard-earned gratuity.
Okay.
That's my gratuity that was paid to me for almost 27 years of service.
Okay. Now, okay.
So, what is just that for now? No, when I started it, as I told you earlier, I loan money from the bank, and for now, for me to mass produce it, I still go back to bank in loan. But the issue there is Nigerian banks find it very difficult to release money for me for the development. That is why I have to solicit for various organizations, income, if possible, the government to fund in the project.
Talking about your debarment allowance and all that, you retired. Has all your benefits been paid? Have you been collecting your pension and all that?
Really, my pension was paid. My gratuity was paid. I received it with all gratitude, despite not as I wish. But my security debarment allowance, the outstanding is still hanging.
For how long?
Me that retired 30th of November 2024. Up to now, I'm still having an outstanding security department allowance with the government. So,
And this has also hindered
yes,
the
it's
preparations
part
for
of it,
this.
yes. I could have gone on publicity beyond where I am. I didn't even that fund was paid to me.
Okay, we've been speaking to Engr Bala Elisha, and of course, Engr Bala Elisha served, like you heard him, for almost 28 years, 27 years, and retired as a clerk, GD, Clerk General Duty Staff Duty, A1, commonly called SDA1. Okay, we've been talking to him on his innovation and how the government can come in. Don't forget, this is against all odds, the renewed hope agenda with Meshach Yagi, and we are seeing how we can talk to people from rural areas, inventors, people who have been using solar light, how has solar fared, and what are the options that we can have aside solar. Solar being a good thing, but if we have something better, can we see options? Do we have options? And yes, we do. Engr Bala Elisha has those answers and those options. In the coming days, we hope to see how he fares.